I just recorded a video that is, I don't know how long, because it wasn't recording. It's a little something to detract from the absolute joy I was feeling having gotten it done. Oh my gosh. It's like, today when I was going to record, I was thinking about themes from yesterday's recording, and one of them is being a child with agency. And because of that theme, I talked 30 minutes or more probably. I uh, I gave referenced content from my thesis even. Yeah, well, here goes. Um, Today's a complicated day because, like any day here in ye old Europe, I'm confronted with the fact that I'm not white, I'm not European, and I experience a lot of racism. I wouldn't advise the country I'm living in to anyone, but the reasons why definitely go back to my childhood and to the parents that I have. Like my father is the son of a sharecropper in East Texas. My mother is from Atoka, Oklahoma, but grew up in Oklahoma City after about the age of 2. So these are Southerners. The town that my father's from in East Texas actually has no name, literally has no name. We have a name that we colloquially use as the name of our town, but it's not actually the name. It's just literally a stop on a highway. You turn off, you're there. Um, and my father's 91 years old. So when you think about East Texas, you have a lot of stereotypes that allude to things that are true and quite charming, to be fair. I saw this clip from Viola Davis recently talking about how her search for love led to the man I suppose she's married to still. And one of the criteria was that he's like someone from East Texas. So you have an archetype that emerges from this region. And the archetype, I think, is my father and my uncles, of men anyway. I mean, my aunties, yeah, they're something fierce. And by fierce, I mean fierce. I don't mean girl boss fierce, which is just something you say to someone who isn't fierce because it feels nice to be included. It's nothing earned. It's nothing handed down that's still got to be earned, even though the criteria is placed in front of us. It's just girl boss. It's a meme from the internet and from children's cartoons that I think kind of fundamentally teach us to not be real, to not be authentic, to not know the origins of things and where things come from. Um, so, another kind of stereotype that's explored about East Texas is Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. I know Big Bang Theory is no longer appropriate. It's gone out of fashion. Um, the display of hyperneuroticism of Sheldon and asexuality and Amy's character. I mean, you name it, there are just a lot of things that of our time we're not allowed to enjoy and laugh at. But one of the things that is explored is what it means to be from East Texas and the things that are very specific to Sheldon Cooper's character. based on him being raised by a God-fearing, Bible-thumping woman, prissy woman, rigid woman, highly principled woman, who still got pregnant in the back of a pickup truck, which I can respect. Um, but this kind of stern way of being, which is also rather indulgent, because, like, one of the things that we see when we compare Sheldon's character to that of, oh, I forgot his name. So it's, oh God, what is Sheldon Cooper's roommate's name? I have to look this up because it's just Leonard. So when we compare, like, Sheldon's backward Southern parent upbringing and his confidence levels to Leonard's confidence levels, um, it's really interesting that there's a lot of acceptance that Sheldon growing up, despite how weird he was, and then you compare it to Leonard growing up in this highly accomplished family, the severe, domineering psychologist mother who was award winning, and how she constantly was emasculating her son, and nothing was good enough. Not editing this out, so see, you compare this, like, kind of blue blood, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, upper middle class, intellectually oriented parents with professional academic careers, the equivalent of the doctor lawyer scenario, and how Leonard has no confidence, but Sheldon feels quite capable. And when you look at the things he did, like ordering uranium from Chad, that's a child with agency action that makes sense if you know people from East Texas. So when I think about what Viola Davis is saying about wanting somebody who's all these things, but mixed into a little bit of that East Texas thing, makes me think about my father. And it also makes me think of him being a child of his. I didn't grow up in Texas. It was a 12-hour drive away. And in the American context, that means it's close. And that means that we drove there a lot. We were a family of 8. My father's from a family of 11. And they're very close, the Texans, the farm boys and farm girls of his family. So we were there a lot. And my father has a twin brother. So my cousins were very important to me because they represented something that I didn't get out of my late mother. Um, she was in Oklahoma, she was in Okie, and she didn't come up with that kind of same rich character that you get from digging in the soil. You think about hobbits and Samwise Gamgees and all of this stuff. Part of what makes them who they are is the fact that things don't always go the way you want them to, especially when you're living off the land. So you can toil and your seeds don't come up and you have to do something else and you still have to do it again. You still have to dig the same earth, plant the same seeds, go through the same process, come what may. And sometimes you have to hardcore tighten your belt. And it's not something that anybody's giving you a lot of emotional encouragement for. And I wonder, I mean, this isn't research work. I can just talk about my thoughts because I'm just talking to me. And I mean, if anybody is listening, they might have something to say, but there's not a lot of safe places to just speak out as a Black person because there's so much vilification and racism towards us. So when I'm thinking about what makes a person have perseverance and what doesn't, and what makes a person feel entitled, and what are the mechanisms that let a person become that. In Europe, I've met a lot of people that don't have a lot of money, but they're still wealthier than people who are in the middle class and upper middle class where I come from because of the social structure. So when they talk about not having money and they're like in my age group and younger, or they're earlier than me, Gen X, or later than me, Gen X, the expectation is not about basics. And even the concepts of basics are different. Um, I think I was maybe 17 the first time I went to a cafe, and I had to drive half an hour to the Central West End in St. Louis from the small town where I grew up in Missouri to go to this cafe. And the cafe was just kind of an accident. I didn't really get what it was that I was looking at. And I was really quite well versed at that point. I was reading Camus in French, and was, I was well read, I was well educated, but where was I going to go to a cafe? Not in my town. And the cafe was just next to this amazing shop, Venus Adonis, where I had put a dress on layaway and the most beautiful shoes on layaway. And I was paying it off slowly. And so I'd come downtown every couple of weeks after one of my jobs, and I put money on my dress and my shoes. I still have that dress. It's amazing. Um, and so for me, that was a really big deal to go to a cafe. And maybe because I started it so late in life, I felt it was totally and utterly pointless. What is exciting about having a table out of doors facing a street where you're breathing car exhaust and you're limited to this one pie slice versus if I'm home or hanging out on the porch, if I felt like it, and sometimes I did, I could have half a pie. I have no restrictions. I didn't have to wear shoes. I didn't have to smell good. I didn't have to have the awkwardness of other people looking at me. So this idea of being seen and being seen, seeing and being seen, that I associate so much with my discomfort in cafe kind of situations and cafes and restaurants. Um, it doesn't make sense to me. But when I came to Europe and I was talking to people about their baselines, like they would consider themselves poor if they were only going to a cafe or a bar once or twice a week. And I think about, what do you spend at a bar? You spend like 50 euros. And I'm like, wow, what a waste of money. You do that once a week. Even if you do it once a month, that's a lot of money that's spent on something that's deleterious to the body. So, in a calculation of wealth and privilege, being able to spend large swathes of time on activities that aren't necessarily good for you, but that are your privilege to choose to be good or bad for you, is part of the equation of how people consider themselves poor, which I have found kind of interesting. Um, Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, who still did not drink as an adult because of how he was raised so strictly, and who was also just a real big individual. I mean, he was just an individual. You can't say that that's a personality that someone gave him. He was who he was. So this idea that you can't become a real person, an individuated person, without a society that calls you girl boss, even when you're not a strong little girl. You're a pampered princess. You don't do anything for yourself. You don't cook, you don't clean. Um, no one's allowed to talk to you without explaining everything in simple and delicate terms that might not bother or frustrate you. That is not a girl boss. I mean, maybe it is a girl boss because a girl boss is useless. Yeah, I said it. I think a girl boss is kind of useless because any kind of title that makes you think that you're something that you're not is a little bit frustrating because the person sitting next to you might be somebody who is a boss and who can do stuff and who isn't going to cry and make the world change how it talks to her to be able to go forward. And so having to contend with this little thing next door that was told by its mommy and its daddy that it was a girl boss when I'm actually out there doing stuff is super frustrating. Yeah, I guess I'm ranting a little bit. That's so annoying. I mean, it's just so annoying. It's like, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. Um, yeah, I don't come across many people that I can relate to because I come from a father who was picking cotton at the age of 2 out in the fields alongside the rest of his family. And my generation, Gen X, we are considered the first latchkey kids. And latchkey kids, if you don't know, were kids who had a key around their neck to let themselves in the door at home because, they were the first generation that their parents went to work. And when I think about what this means, this whole latchkey thing, I'm a little bit frustrated because it's very white centric. It's very middle class centric. And it leaves out issues of race and prejudice. Black women have always been working. I wrote a chapter on Aren't I a Woman? And you look at Sojourner Truth and you look at women under enslavement, they were working. So, this idea of liberation for when women began working, well, they mean white women, and not all white women. Like a lot of poor white women have been working alongside Black women, Latina women, everybody else, Indigenous women. A lot of women have been working. It's when middle class women began working. Um, and so this attribute of Gen X as being a hyper independent group of people based on things like we had to do our own discovery, we had to use the card catalog in the library to find things. We are not, I mean, one thing that I would say is correct about Gen X is that it's not that we're not using tech. Been using tech for forever. Like I grew up with tech in my hands. Um, where I'm from, we had the first generation of Mac computers in grade school. I was learning how to use a Mac and to get in with basic coding. So no, I'm not a tech phobe because of Gen X being my generation. The difference is that I don't need everybody to see what I had for lunch. Um, and how I'm using technology is more about using technology than being witnessed by technology. It's not about asking Google or Brave or whatever your browser of choice is how to do something. I'm accustomed to finding out how to do things. I know how to use a library card catalog. I prefer the card catalog given the opportunity over looking on that stupid computer that is really struggling for understanding, that searching for a subject goes beyond a keyword. There's more context to that. So, yeah. kind of interesting. And so when you think about my grandmother would have been more like Sojourner Truth and Aren't I a Woman and what that means, than the women in 1965 who were going off to work for the first time. And my father called his East Texas mama a genius for her ability to navigate her domestic work as well as her field work. She was out there working alongside the men, and she was also taking care of the children in the house. This isn't to say that it's sexist that she was taking care of the children in the house. It's to say that when you have a body that produces children, it's just kind of logical that you're going to have to be near them for some years of their lives. And this takes you away from fully being outdoors. I mean, obviously, she was going back and forth to the house. The younger kids would either be staying in the fields or coming in with her. But he said it was genius that she could get all of these things done. Like, you have fresh buttermilk and beans and biscuits, and you have dessert as well. Like, it's not just like this freaking out over, oh my God, I have to come in and go to the store, get my little plastic container of things and cook. No, she was milking a cow and making cheese and churning butter and going out and work. It's, yeah, it's genius. How do you do that? We struggle now to make the smallest things. We struggle now. People around me struggle now with these ideas of, whoa, you're just doing too much. Excuse me. That's too hard. Like, oh, you should do less. You should learn to rest. And I feel like Europe is the you should learn to rest is the mantra. I know how to rest. I have amazing self care practices. My self care practices are exhausting to some people because they are so much a part of who I am and my daily disciplines. I know how to rest, but I wasn't raised to think that I should label everything as difficult and needing time to talk and reflect and cope and integrate everything in slow detail at a cafe or bar. And I'm the better for it. I mean, it's what I am. I think if I were a person who was used to a lot of different things that I'm not used to, that would be fine too. But the problem I'm talking about is being assessed outside of the context of my culture as being someone who's potentially too ambitious, too expecting, with too high of a standard. That's the part that bothers me. That's the part that I want to get away from. And that's the part that makes me take the time today to want to get that off my chest, have a think about it. Because my first very long video, which was like 45 minutes, accidentally wasn't recording, I'm going to stop here because I'm really tired and my voice is a bit uh, rusty, from talking so much. But thank you for listening. I'm Chandra. I'm making videos every day now. See you tomorrow.